work on rewriting the network operating system from the ground up, using modern data models, using open APIs, and enabling you to program the network. We've then taken this high-performance hardware and we've added pervasive compute. So what that enables you to do is get new innovation that we're working on today and innovation that we haven't even thought of yet. This now sits on a cloud-managed dashboard, Cisco DNA Center, where you can manage your network infrastructure and where you can manage all of these different applications and innovations that we will continue to roll out. Innovations like software-defined access, wireless assurance, and encrypted traffic analytics. And like I said, those that we haven't even thought of yet will keep coming. This is the beginning of redefining your ability to do work in the era of intelligence. And I like to use an analogy here, which is Tesla. In the year 2015, those who bought a Tesla, it was an electric car, but at the end of that year, they actually received an over-the-air update that enabled that car to drive itself. They didn't have to change the hardware, it was delivered through software innovation. This is innovation you could not get on a Honda Civic from 2007. You had to have the highest performance hardware capable of receiving that software delivered innovation. And that's what you'll see from Cisco. Because DNA Center, we will use to continue to bring innovation to you time and time again. But what's even better is we've actually made this a platform for you and our partners to innovate. So we've expanded the ability to innovate on top of this platform by opening it up so that you too can scale and innovate. And one of those capabilities is using machine learning of the network to look at massive data flows, analyze them, and determine if there's malware and encrypted traffic without decrypting it. This is something that was thought to be impossible, and we've been able to do it. We can maintain the privacy of our customers and also provide them with security. Now, I have a very funny friend who's going to tell you how it works.
Deception. People use it all the time. And if you know what to look for, you can spot it. There's a science to it. Psychologists use it, professional interrogators use it. I'm pretty sure my grandmother uses it on me. It allows all of those people to see when someone is hiding something just by watching their body language. Jen, how's that booty base?
That's great, thanks for the recommendation.
Now you see how her nose is wrinkled up at the top? That's a sign of disgust. And the raised upper lip? Same thing. Why? We don't know. Is she allergic to shellfish? Is she allergic to soup? It's unclear. What we do know is that Jen does not like that dish. Enjoy!
I will.
Look at the crow's feet around his eyes and the pushed up cheeks. He's happy. Corner of her mouth? Contempt. They're in for an interesting night. I don't need to listen to these people's conversations. I can tell what they're hiding based on their body language. Now, what if we could use that method to detect encrypted threats on the network just by looking at packet flow body language?
Packet flow what?
Oh yeah. Welcome to the future, Jimbo. It's called Cisco Encrypted Traffic Analytics, and it identifies suspicious behavior within encrypted traffic without decrypting it. How? When hackers hide malware inside encrypted traffic, Cisco can identify that suspicious behavior by looking at the metadata of the flow. Using machine learning and analytics, it actively learns what's normal behavior and what isn't. And so, as hackers adapt, so do you. And that, keeps you one step ahead. Yeah!
The term packet flow body language. So you're going to see more and more innovation delivered through the network intuitive. It's understanding your context, all of the data that you have, the business intent that you actually want to apply, and then constantly learning and improving and optimizing. It's breakthrough innovation that also focuses on making it simpler for you to manage your IT environments. So how does intent-based networking come together in the real world? Let's take an example of a healthcare provider. They're adding a new campus, and this campus, they have patients, they have doctors, they have a lot of medical equipment. Normally, they would send their networking equipment along with an IT professional who would log into each box and configure it. That's the old way of doing things. Now, with the Network Intuitive and with DNA Center, you do all of the designing, provisioning, and policy deployment in one area. So first, you start by creating a unified fabric of the entire campus and all the campuses together. Then, you segment the policy based on doctors and nurses who should have access to medical records, guests who just want to watch Netflix while they are recovering, and then also you want to segment the devices like the HVAC systems and the MRI machines and the hospital beds so that they are segmented from the rest of the network and cannot be infiltrated and then go into other areas. Lastly, through DNA Center, you actually have visibility into what's going on in your network. You can see where things are going well and where you're having some problems. And then you can now begin to correct those problems, quickly diagnose, quickly troubleshoot, and eventually get into predictive maintenance. So what's the value that our customers are getting out of this? In a third-party study using just software-defined access, our customers saw a 67% improvement in network provisioning performance, an 80% improvement in issue resolution time, a 48% reduction in security breach impact. That's just with software-defined access. And then a 61% reduction in operating expense. And this is important because we are all being asked to do more with less. The workload is increasing, so it needs to become more manageable. And we're not just simplifying the network, because we also want to simplify the cloud. Tongue-in-cheek, I ask, who gives the cloud? Because there is no such thing as a single cloud. We know that 85% of companies are evaluating or using a public cloud. And we know that almost all of them are using multiple clouds. So what our customers actually need is to optimize this multi-cloud reality. And what does it look like? Many of you started with on-premise data centers and private cloud running large monolithic applications. Moving those applications sometimes an impractical and large feat. And in fact, when you've got inelastic applications where you can predict the utilization, it actually makes more sense to keep it in-house. Companies like Uber, Netflix, Etsy, as soon as they reached a certain workload capacity, they actually brought it back in and realized significant operational savings. But that's not enough. We know that you and your peers across your organizations want to innovate quickly. You must have burst capacity needs, and you want to be able to take advantage of everything that's coming out from the public cloud. And so in addition to your private cloud, there are many public clouds. In fact, on average, you've got about 5. Some of you are operating in countries where data sovereignty laws require that the data stay within geographic bounds. And in this world, you have to support a very complex multi-cloud environment. What started as an innovation enabler, what started as a dream of simplicity, actually ended up providing complexity, fragmentation, and many of our customers feeling like they no longer control their data. They no longer can control the policy that's applied, and they have security concerns. But ultimately, what you care about is actually the application. Wouldn't it be nice if you could run the right workloads on the right cloud at the right time? So what are we doing about it? First, we enable you to securely extend your private cloud into multiple public cloud environments with virtual routers and umbrella security. Then, we bring the best of the public cloud and provide that experience on-prem with various partnerships, like Microsoft Azure Stack on UCS and Docker, where you can be enabled to have container as a service in your environment. But we knew there was much, much more that we could do. What if you could develop in the cloud and deploy it anywhere, and you didn't have to rewrite the code? What if you could increase the software velocity and not be concerned about the security? What if you could choose the cloud provider based on the needs of your workload? And that's why we teamed up with Google Cloud to make an industry-changing announcement last week. We integrated our network, our security, and our multi-cloud capabilities with their open Kubernetes architecture. We took Google's cloud technology and brought it on-premise to run on Cisco HyperFlex and bare metal. And so that developers now have a modern developer environment wherever they want to develop. This is a true hybrid experience. You write once and deploy anywhere, and you do it all securely. Because nothing really matters unless it's secure. So we're going to enable you to protect your multi-cloud identities, protect your data and applications, secure the endpoints and users, and secure the applications, workloads, and data. And with Cisco Cloud Center, you can now move your workloads between clouds seamlessly as you need them. Let me walk you through a quick example. DirecTV charges about $100 to $200 for a fight. And for the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, boxing match that took place, they actually put up 400 streaming servers just to ensure that the quality was good of the streaming. Because if you were paying $200 a fight, you couldn't afford any quality issues. They had a very complex multi-cloud environment. 8 private and public clouds in 25 different regions. And it was pretty overwhelming. They had no visibility, no governance, and no security across them. This was unmanageable without the right platform in place. So 3 years ago, we teamed with them, using Cisco Cloud Center for governance, visibility, and control across all of those cloud environments and user groups. Cloud Center made the unmanageable manageable, and that's what we're going to do for you. This is a complex journey, and we want to team with you. We can work with you to develop a robust plan, meet your business objectives, do it with the right sequence, do it with the right support. Our goal is to de-risk your multi-cloud adoption and enable you to innovate faster. And to help you de-risk, we have to give you visibility into what's happening in your environment. Using analytics, we can now unlock insights across the entire business, not just IT. We've applied analytics and machine learning end to end, starting with security. We block 20 billion threats a day, and we take all of that intelligence to secure your environment with Umbrella and encrypted traffic analytics. We also use network analytics to provide optimal performance of your network, like in wireless assurance. And with tetration, we're mapping both your private and public cloud applications so that you can have real-time visibility, not only in the dependency mapping, but also the policy that's applied across all of those applications. In our own Cisco IT environment, we actually use both tetration and app dynamics in order to look at our clouds, our data center strategy. And it was coupling both of those together, where we use tetration to find redundant applications, and then app dynamics to enable us to ensure that those business critical applications, which were transacting about $40 billion in revenue every year, were not suffering as we were making changes. How does App Dynamics work? It monitors and analyzes the application performance. It traces and monitors the performance of every user action, and quickly isolates the issue down to the code level. So as you're rolling out new innovations, you can actually tell which line of code is contributing to any performance issues. And it's very scalable. It captures over 1 trillion events per month. Why does scale matter? Lloyds Bank is the largest online bank in Europe, and they have about 13,000 customer logins per minute. And they're very innovative. They're continuously rolling out new innovations. But the only way that they would find out if there were any performance issues was if a customer called and said, I tried to order new checks, I tried to move money around, and then they would take that cue and IT would start triaging those issues one by one. What about the issues that took place that no one called about? They were being reactive, and they really wanted to evolve from reactive to proactive. And that's where they brought in App Dynamics. They wanted analytics and visibility across their entire landscape, and now their innovation velocity increases so much because they can roll out the innovation and see if a customer is going to experience a performance issue before the customer calls. their chief digital officer actually said that IT were the paramedics before, and now they're the brain surgeons. Pretty amazing. They're going to continue to innovate and grow. And so is AppD. The next generation of app dynamics is moving from just the performance of the application to the entire business process. With Business IQ, they process map the entire customer journey. For example, Lloyd's Bank could be looking at a business process like a loan, and they can now follow a customer who might start in the browser, then go to the mobile app, and then end up in their retail bank. This links the full customer journey from the application to the business performance and ties it to the actual business metrics. And as more and more sensors are coming online, and more data is being gathered, we actually want to inform the business processes and operations with all of that analytics. So we developed an IoT analytics platform called Cisco Kinetic. This monitors data in motion. Get it? Kinetic? So you can take action at the right time. And much of the data that's gathered from sensors is perishable, so you actually have to take the action in real time to make use of it. And that's where Kinetic comes in. With Cisco Kinetic, our customers can now extract data from millions of connected devices at the edge, compute that data, apply rules to the data in motion, and reliably and securely deliver that data so that you can take action. These actions can enable things like predictive maintenance, manufacturing optimization, and in some cases, they can save lives. In the United States, in the state of Tennessee, there's a very treacherous road that gets very dense fog. And it's a road where there are many fatalities as a result of the lack of visibility. We partnered with the Tennessee Department of Transportation to put fog visibility sensors at the edge at the road so that when visibility became too dense and the drivers couldn't see, it would actually change road signs, lower a gate, and change the speed limit on that road, rerouting traffic to avoid those fatalities. That data is processed at the edge and acted on immediately. So essentially, we've shifted the value equation. Here is where the insights are turning into actions. Sometimes the insights are saving lives, and other times they're helping you build community. And one amazing community is that of the Chivas fan base, recognized around the world by 40 million fans. Chivas is one of the 10 original founding members of the Mexican First Division. They've won over 20 championships, including 12 MX League titles. Cisco teamed with Chivas to make the Chivas Stadium the first smart and connected stadium in Latin America, changing the way that stadiums are built. I want to welcome Amaury Vergara, Director and Vice President of Innovation,